Okay, this is that support structure that I made for the counter extension. This is just a simple 1 foot or maybe 13 inches wide by 24 deep. It's just a counter extension, and this is the piece I was telling you about. So this is a piece of oak. This is cherry. There's a massive, obviously there's a massive channel cut in here all the way to the rear. So this would, I guess, would be considered a mortise. But on the back side of the mortise, there's a dado cut, or actually a rabbet cut on both sides of it. So it leaves a reveal of approximately 1/4 inch of hollow space behind here. And behind this cherry is a piece of 3/16 thick oak. And that piece of oak is tacked flush with the back of this piece of oak, the main piece of oak, until it gets about 3/4 of the way. By the time it gets 3/4 of the way, I started to tilt it out and tack it further closer to here. So and then I cut the top of that piece of oak on a miter, on a reverse miter. So the miter is, the shop edge of the miter is here, and then it slants down like this behind it. So what happens is by the time the cherry gets to about 3/4 of the way up, the oak piece on the back is starting to tilt in, which forms a spring effect, and then that cherry kind of rubs up against it, and as soon as it gets to the top, the oak flips out underneath it and locks it into place. So here's how it works. So this would need to be, usually I candle wax this. I rub candles on it, and it gives a nice smooth surface without, you can't use obviously anything lubricant, but beeswax would probably work too, but candle wax works pretty well. So, and then it'll probably be polyed, but I'm not going to touch this because any kind of sealer, with the exception of maybe tung oil, will probably ruin the sliding. So I just want to make sure it's going to stay that way. So to get it down, all you got to do is just put some pressure pulling out. I'll show you a close-up of it. So it's just screwed directly to the cabinet. You can use machine screws with a knot or whatever. It's just screwed in like that. And then when this piece comes up, you can see it comes out. And it's just a simple bracket. And piece just slides in there. This is that oak, that thin piece of oak back there. And like I said, when it gets up to about here, it starts tilting in. And then to get it down, you just simply put some pressure pulling out. Actually, you could probably see it down there. Is that piece of oak. So, like I said, just as it starts to get 3/4 of the way up, that's when the pressure starts. So right now, this piece of cherry is not actually rubbing up against that piece of oak in the back until it gets to right about there. And then you can actually see the spring effect. If you look at the oak, you can see the spring effect. As I pull this up, it wants to go back. So the cherry basically just has an axle. Basically, it's just a stud. It's actually an old drill bit, but it's not the twist part of the drill bit. It's the piece that you would put inside the drill. And that's caught up behind. It's caught up behind the dado cut. I don't know, it's hard to see in there, but there's a dado cut inside there, a rabbet. And it gets stuck behind it. Anyway, that's how it works. It's pretty stable. Probably, I wouldn't sit on it, but it probably can handle 60, 70 pounds. So anyway, that's it.